That's a good question. So how do we work with suffering thoughts? Yes. I think within that question is also very much the answer, because the suffering thoughts are just thoughts. The suffering themselves is just a thought in the mind. I would say here it's all about awareness. So to bring it back into yourself. Now remember, our concept is always about bringing whatever is there in. So it's about waking in, not just waking out. So the way that we wake in is to bring everything in your experience into yourself. So it's already there, so we don't need to do much work around this. You're already clearly stating that it's there, so what we want to do is try and meet it. So the first thing here that is important to understand is that it's a thought, which you've already expressed in your question. So there is a thought, and so can we stay with the thought, so understanding what that is. Now the one thing that is important is not to resist the thought, because the moment you resist the thought, the moment that there is a push against it, it's like a child that gets ignored. It will just scream louder and louder. So the idea is to welcome, to open yourself up to it. Now sometimes this can feel a bit strange in the beginning. It can also be a strange concept when it is uncomfortable, the thought. So it's important to first of all create a little bit of space for the thinking. One way that I think is very helpful is if you can understand that thinking happens to you. You are not the thinker. So try and create that distance between yourself and the thought, that is the suffering thought, or any thought for that matter, to create space for it. So the awareness of the thought, understand that you are thinking this thought, and then to create space for it. I feel frustrated, I feel irritated, I feel lonely, I feel sad, whatever it is for you. We first want to bring that into our awareness, then feel it. We want to not resist or push, we want to bring it into ourselves and feel that emotion stronger. Feel the emotion. If it's sadness, if you experience sadness, you want to create space for it. So I don't want to always say welcome it at this point, but if you could welcome it, it's good. Because you want to bring that thought and feeling into yourself. And that the concept here that there is nothing wrong with you, there's nothing wrong with feeling like this, but that doesn't need to stay like that. So first, make the awareness of the thought. See how much space you can create for this thought. Let this thought rise in you, no resistance. Feel it. Where is it in the body? Now this part can also perhaps take another exercise as well. If you feel very difficult for you to connect to your body, because sometimes many of us are very disconnected from ourselves. We are very disconnected from the physical body. We are very disconnected from our emotions and our mind. So this disconnection can sometimes make it difficult for people to identify how in the body or where the sensation is. But if we again here create a little bit of space, it will naturally rise because it's already there. We just want to bring our awareness to it. We are not trying to change anything. We aren't trying to stop anything. We are simply bringing our awareness to this thing that is already there, what you are saying, the suffering thought. So we want to then feel, where in the body do I feel it? Is it a tightness in my chest? Is it my throat? Where in my body feel it? It could be anywhere. It could be any sensation. Usually there is a contraction in the physical body. And this contraction, you can see it when I look at you. I can see there's a contraction, but you can also feel that there is a contraction. So make space for the thought, let the thought rise. Then we want to feel it in the body. Where is it within the body? We want to stay there as well. We don't want to rush through this process. We are not rushing to reach an end point where there is no agenda here. We are simply allowing what is there to unfold deeply within ourselves. So making space for the thought, making space for the feeling, and really bringing that space to it. Just keep creating space. If you feel like crying, cry. If you feel like whatever it is that rises, we want to be with it fully. So you can see here, it is important to create space to do this. Create space to know yourself. Because many times in some of our teachings, as you know, we talk about knowing the self. So of course there's two ways to this. There's the direct path of self-inquiry, to know who we ultimately are, the loving awareness of our experience. But then I would say there's another part to this as well, just before that. And it's also to know yourself is to know the physical vessel. To know what is in there, how do I feel, how does it operate, and where do I store this? Because without releasing or welcoming this into ourselves initially, the direct path is very difficult for most people. So it's good to start there first. So create the space, and then once we have created space, we will find the more space that we create for the suffering thought, the more it starts to lose intensity. Because we are finally welcoming whatever this is into ourselves, into our experience. So there is no resistance. And this is all anything in terms of these thoughts or traumas or negative things that are unfolding really once, is to be welcomed fully, to be seen, to be validated, and then just to create that space. And know that in the loving awareness of our consciousness, none of these things can stay there. So as long as we can bring it into our present moment awareness, just space. We are not stopping it. We are not trying to do anything to it. We are simply allowing what is there already in the moment now to be, and we want to create full space for it. So that there is no resistance. We want to really focus on this part of bringing it into ourselves. Because in this loving awareness, we would find that more and more space. What is the awareness of this? What is the space in which even this uncomfortable thoughts or feelings are arising? And it can almost be a practice of subtraction. You can subtract really that, okay, I'm going to feel it, I'm going to allow it, and you don't have to love it, but if you could, that's also very good. To welcome it. Yes. You see, all of this is an aspect of you also. It's when you resist the thinking or the suffering thought that it's not me, I shouldn't be like this, I should always be positive, I should always focus on the best aspects, and no, but we have to really bring this back into ourselves. The more space you can create for it, the less power it will have. And so of course, but if it's repetitive thoughts that come, they will come again. That you will have these repetitive, but if you keep creating space for these thoughts to come, you will find that the intensity lessens and your awareness of it as just something that rises and falls. Because even if you feel really amazing during the practice of opening up and welcoming in what is already there, if you feel really good during this practice, afterwards it might subside, but just keep trusting that the more you can open up to your experience in bringing it in, not externalizing it, to say I shouldn't feel like this, maybe I should do this, maybe I need that tool, maybe this, maybe that. So all of those things are externalizing, you're pushing it outside of yourself. I need to get rid of it. I need to somehow free myself from it. I need to purge it from my being in some way. And of course, sometimes this is also valuable, but in this case, it is not about pushing it away. It is about fully embracing it, as an aspect of you. We have to let go completely into the guru of our lives. The guru of our lives is this very existence in the body-mind also. And it's here that we have to create this space continuously within ourselves. So the more space we can create, even if it comes again, you're filling this one bit of trauma into this huge space, and it will feel less and less significant. But if we don't create space for it, you will have this trauma that takes up everything and there is no space for it to be. And that, of course, is much more intense. But if you can imagine a small speck inside this vastness of your being, then it has very little effect. It's almost just a little thing that is there, and it's okay, but it will not have the same effect. Open up to yourself. Open up completely that is unfolding to you. Bring it into the loving awareness of your being. I hope that helps. Thank you.